Anyone who knows Nick is reminded that he ardently reminds us that our forefathers designed the United States Constitution around the belief that the people of this great country themselves must be trusted with the ultimate guardianship of democracy. So at a time when many of us know that our political system is dysfunctional and severely broken, we the citizens, whether we are young, old, Republicans, Democrats, independents, or none of the above, we must join together to repair what is broken. We must end political stagnation, runaway spending, hopelessness, and public apathy. We have experienced the impact of broken politics right here in Pike County. Across the board, spending cuts of sequestration ended early learning programs affiliated with the Head Start program. The WIC program, which is so important to our poorest mothers and infants, is basically out of the county. So our poorest, who don't have cars, many of them, or limited funding, somehow have to find a way to get food and medical services, medical information for their children. And still, senior citizens must travel outside of the county to obtain paperwork and housing assistance. Nick Troiano, I know, would not support things like this to happen to our county, especially since we have the highest unemployment rate in the state. Now is the time to move ahead and stop cutting investments that are important to our future. And we cannot turn our back on Pike County's most needy. So where do we begin? Where do we begin in sending sensible leadership to Washington? Well, it starts right here in our own hometown man, Nick Troiano. Nick Troiano's leadership interest emerged very early while he was a student at the Delaware Valley School District. And as a board member, I got to see firsthand his efforts. He applied for a grant that funded online streaming of board meetings. Early on, he recognized the need for transparency for parents, community members, and for students. And while attending Georgetown University, Nick Troiano just became more stupendous and gained many national recognitions. While attending Georgetown and studying American government, Nick gained further recognition by traveling throughout America while discussing solutions to the national debt. And his efforts introduced senior citizens to Twitter and Skype. And his words have helped to awaken all generations of our looming retirement crisis. I could go on and on because Nick has accomplished more in his young years than most veteran politicians ever hoped to accomplish in a lifetime. But you will hear more from Nick later and others regarding his important work. During the first 5 minutes that I met student Nick Troiano back in 2005, I knew he was destined to be an important leader of our country. His heart was and still is truly with the people, and his brain works brilliantly in conjunction with his heart. He never gives up on a just cause, whether social or fiscal in nature. And despite being very focused on numbers and budgeting, Nick never forgets that there are real people behind those numbers. Nick is a gift. He is a political prodigy, and he is ours. He is our hope for a better America. Our forefathers had the likes of Nick Troiano in mind when they set the age eligibility to be 25 years old to run for the House of Representatives, because Nick Troiano is a man well ahead of his time. He's done his due diligence, and he is ready to serve our county, our state, and our country. Please support Nick in his well-timed quest to the House of Representatives from our community in the 10th District. Thank you, and thank you, Nick.